Welcome to another section of the AutoCAD Working Smarter and Faster course. What we're going to look at now is content reuse, and the first thing we're going to check out is Layer 0 and how important it is. Layer 0 is the default layer in AutoCAD and it opens up in every single drawing. You can't remove it. You can change its color, you can change its line type and line weight, but you cannot remove it, you cannot delete it from the drawing. So we have a drawing up here at the moment. 03 Layer 0 complete. That's the one that I'm going to use for the video. If you want to follow along, following the video, you want 03 Layer 0.dwg, and you'll find that in your working files. So we've got some objects here. You can see I've got some rectangles, there's some lines, there's an arc as well, and you'll notice it's all bits and pieces. But we've got a chair and we've got a table there. You can see that they denote a chair and a table. Now, Layer 0 is excellent for this because when I create blocks, if I put the blocks on Layer 0, they automatically come into the drawing on the current layer when I bring the block into the drawing. And that's what blocks are all about. So if I make these objects here into a block called chair, I can then reuse that block over and over again. And that's the whole meaning behind content reuse. Now, before we do that, we need to go to our Layer Properties Manager. So I'm in the Home tab on the ribbon. Layer Properties Manager is there, and we need two new layers. So we're going to create a layer called chair, or chairs even, maybe. It could just be chair. And then we're going to create another new layer. So I'll press the comma key, and we're going to call it table, like so. Or it could be tables. It doesn't matter. Either way, they're appropriate layers with appropriate naming philosophy. So I'll just press enter there. I'm going to give them each a color, like so. So let's have a look at the colors now and what they're going to be. So if I just click here, I'm going to make my table a green color. So I'll give that a green color, like so, and I'll OK that. And I'm going to make my chair a blue color. Now, again, these could be any color you want. The whole idea is that you're distinguishing them on the drawing. Now, when I look at those two colors there, they're almost the same. So let's make that green slightly darker. Make it a slightly darker, more intense green so that it stands out a little bit more. Maybe make that a paler blue. Again, you can play around with these colors to your heart's content until they are the color you want to be. I'm going to go for that color there. That's better. You can see, look, they're kind of obvious now, dark and light. And that's what you want to do with your layers. So we've got those layers created, so I'll close the Layer Properties Manager. Staying on the Home tab, I go to the Block panel, and I need to use the Create Block option here, but I need to change the layer first. So I'm going to set it to chair first, like so, and I'm going to convert these objects here to a chair block. So I click on Create Block, and the block definition dialog box appears. So we create a block called chair, like so. I'm going to go to pick point there, and I'm going to use the midpoint snap on the chair there as the insertion point. I'm then going to click here to select the objects. So I select all of the objects that make up the chair, like that. Right click or enter to confirm. There's my little preview of my chair. Make sure that you scale uniformly and allow exploding. You might need to explode that chair, make some changes and make it into a different block at some point. We're working in a block unit of millimeters, and make sure that Open in Block Editor is unticked. Click on OK. And because I've got Convert to Block set, you'll see that that converts to block. Now, it's saying that the block definition has changed. So what that means is there might already be a block in the drawing. That's okay, we just redefine it. And there's our block. Now, sometimes you do get that redefinition because you might have a block that's sitting in the drawing that's not being used. Always check, always purge your drawing just in case those blocks are there. Change the layer now to table, and I'll do the same again. Create block. This time I'll call it table, like so. And pick a point for the table. I'll use the bottom left corner there. I could use the center of the table if I wanted to, by using object snap tracking maybe. Select the objects that make up the table, like so, and again, right click or enter to confirm. Set the convert to block again. Scale uniformly, allow exploding. Open in Block Editor is unticked, and click on OK. Again, there's obviously a table block in there. I'm going to redefine it, and there's my table block as well. Now, the best bit is when I now insert a block, like so, let's say table, because I'm on the table layer. If I bring that in, it brings that block in on the current drafting layer. So that table has come in on the table layer because it's the current drafting layer, but the block was originally created on Layer 0. So that's why Layer 0 is so important in your AutoCAD drawing.